In this video, we'll be taking a look at 4 NBA games happening on March 23, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 8 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 4 NBA games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. San Antonio Spurs versus Toronto Raptors. This matchup features two teams struggling to stay relevant in their respective playoff hunts. Facing off north of the border, the San Antonio Spurs will take on the Toronto Raptors in an interconference showdown on Sunday night. Neither team has had much success this season, and both find themselves on the outside looking in when it comes to the postseason picture. San Antonio comes into this game riding some momentum after securing a 128-120 road win over Philadelphia on Friday night. In that contest, the Spurs entered as 6-point underdogs but managed to cover the spread with a strong performance. On the other hand, Toronto is coming off a tough 117-114 loss on the road against Golden State on Thursday night. Despite the loss, the Raptors covered the spread as a 14.5-point underdog. Historically, the Spurs have had the upper hand in this series, leading the all-time regular season matchup 36-20. Their most recent meeting took place on February 12, 2024, when San Antonio dominated with a 122-99 victory in Toronto. In terms of injuries, both teams are dealing with significant absences. The Spurs remain without Victor Wembanyama, De'Aaron Fox, and Charles Bassey, while the Raptors have ruled out Emmanuel Quickley, Jakob Poeltl, and Brandon Ingram once again. These key players being sidelined makes this game even more unpredictable. To be honest, this isn't an ideal game to bet on, as neither of these teams should be particularly focused on winning at this stage of the season. However, since someone has to come out on top, we might as well look at where the best value lies. The Raptors have the advantage of playing at home, and over the past couple of months, they've shown a bit more fight compared to the Spurs. Meanwhile, San Antonio has looked lost without their head coach and top players, and their 10-22 record in road games speaks volumes. Toronto has won 16 of its 24 games at home this season, making it a far more comfortable place for them to compete. Since we're only being asked to lay a small margin, the Raptors seem like the right play if we have to take a side in this one. As our first pick for this matchup, the Toronto Raptors money line is our full game side pick. When it comes to the total, recent trends suggest we should expect plenty of points in this one. San Antonio has hit the over in 10 of its last 12 games, and even in the 2 that went under, the combined scores were still high at 234 and 220 points. This shows that their games have been consistently high scoring rather than defensive battles. The Spurs have been putting up big offensive numbers, averaging 122.5 points per game over their last 10 contests. However, their defense has been just as bad, allowing opponents to score 124 points per game in that same stretch. They currently rank 12th in the league in pace, averaging 99.3 possessions per game, and sit 13th in offensive efficiency. Toronto has also seen an increase in scoring lately, averaging 112 points per game over its last 10 games, an improvement of 1 point over its season-long average. The Raptors' defense has tightened up slightly, giving up 112 points per game in that span, which is nearly 4 points better than their season mark. Like San Antonio, Toronto plays at a relatively fast pace, ranking 13th in tempo with 99.3 possessions per game, but their offensive efficiency is much lower, sitting at 26th in the league. Both teams have had major issues on the defensive end, allowing opponents to score with ease. The Raptors, in particular, have struggled to defend without fouling, leading the NBA in both personal fouls and opponent free throw attempts per game. Meanwhile, the Spurs have been unable to keep teams out of the paint and rank near the bottom of the league in opponent field goals made per game. Despite some key absences, the Raptors will have R.J. Barrett back in action, and Scotty Barnes has been playing at an extremely high level all season. On the other side, the Spurs' young core has done a solid job offensively, especially from beyond the arc, where they've been shooting the ball well. Since both teams prefer to play at an up-tempo pace and struggle defensively, this game is shaping up to be a high-scoring affair. Given how poorly both teams have played defensively and the pace at which they operate, we should expect a lot of points in this one. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Philadelphia 76ers versus Atlanta Hawks. The Philadelphia 76ers are set to hit the road and head to State Farm Arena this Sunday afternoon, where they will face off against the Atlanta Hawks in an Eastern Conference matchup. With the regular season winding down, both teams have very different motivations heading into this game. Philadelphia currently sits in 12th place in the East with a disappointing 23-47 record. They are in the middle of a rough patch, having dropped 3 games in a row, with their most recent loss coming on Friday in a 128-120 defeat to the San Antonio Spurs. Meanwhile, Atlanta is clinging to the 7th spot in the conference with a 34-36 record and riding a bit of momentum. The Hawks have won back-to-back games, including an impressive 124-115 victory at home against the Golden State Warriors on Saturday. This will be the second of 3 meetings between these teams this season. The Hawks took the first contest at home back on March 10th, pulling out a 132-123 win. Injuries continue to be a major storyline for the 76ers as they remain without several key players. The list of absentees includes stars like Joel Embiid, Paul George, Andre Drummond, and Tyrese Maxey, among others. On the other side, the Hawks are still missing Jalen Johnson and Clint Capela, but their injury concerns pale in comparison to Philly's. The Sixers' injury report is so long it looks like a receipt from a drugstore, and with their season all but lost, they appear to be leaning into a tanking strategy. Atlanta, on the other hand, has plenty to play for as they try to solidify their spot and avoid falling into the play-in tournament. One area where the Hawks have a noticeable edge is on the offensive glass. Philadelphia ranks near the bottom of the league in offensive rebounding, sitting at 24th with a 27.5% rate, while Atlanta is a solid 14th with a 29.9% mark. This means the Hawks will likely get plenty of second-chance opportunities, which could spell trouble for a Sixers team that is already struggling to defend at a high level. Scoring should not be an issue for Atlanta in this matchup, especially considering Philadelphia's depleted roster and lack of an interior presence. The Hawks currently rank 5th in the NBA in scoring, and the Sixers have been abysmal on defense, ranking dead last in opponent field goal percentage. To make matters worse, the Sixers are limping to the finish line, having lost 18 of their last 21 games. They have also been miserable on the road, managing just 11 wins away from home all season. Atlanta, on the other hand, has won 6 of its last 10 games and has been playing well enough to take care of business against weaker competition. That being said, the Hawks have not exactly been a goldmine for bettors this season, and they are far from a trustworthy team when expected to cover large spreads. The fact that this game comes on the second night of a back-to-back for them only adds to the uncertainty. However, they deserve credit for their recent strong play, winning 7 of their last 10 games, and they are in a good position to solidify their spot as the top seed in the play-in tournament. The 76ers, on the other hand, are simply too depleted to trust in any betting scenario. Their cover percentage of just 37.1% is the worst in the entire NBA, and their lack of star power means they have little chance of competing against a team like the Hawks. These two teams faced off just a couple of weeks ago, and despite Philadelphia having more available players at that time, Atlanta still won by 9 points. Now, with the Sixers missing even more of their top talent, it's hard to see them staying competitive. Their bench players are being forced into roles they are not suited for, and they simply don't have the firepower to keep up with an Atlanta team that just took down a red-hot Warriors squad. There's really no way to justify backing the 76ers in this spot. The spread may look big at first glance, but it exists for a reason. Philly is in no shape to keep up, and this game could get out of hand quickly. As our first pick for this matchup, the Atlanta Hawks to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Defensive struggles have plagued the 76ers all season, and with so many key players out, their lack of rim protection is glaring. They rank dead last in the NBA in both opponent field goal percentage and rebounding, which is a recipe for disaster against an Atlanta team that thrives on attacking the basket and generating second-chance opportunities. That should lead to plenty of easy buckets for the Hawks, who come into this game ranked 5th in scoring this season. On the other side, despite their struggles, the Sixers have been involved in high-scoring games lately, hitting the over in 8 of their last 10 contests. The Hawks have also leaned toward the over, going 7-3 in their last 10 games. Given the Sixers' defensive woes and the Hawks' ability to score at will, this matchup has all the makings of another high-scoring affair. Denver Nuggets versus Houston Rockets. The Denver Nuggets and Houston Rockets will face off on Sunday in what promises to be an exciting NBA matchup at the Toyota Center. Denver, currently sitting at 44-27 with a 33-37-1 record against the spread, is hoping to snap a two-game losing streak and avoid a third consecutive defeat. On the other hand, Houston has been red hot, boasting a 46-25 record and an impressive 38-31-2 mark against the spread. The Rockets are aiming for their 10th straight victory, further solidifying their position in the Western Conference. These two teams already met once earlier this season back in January, a contest in which Houston dominated, cruising to a 20-point victory on the road. The Nuggets remain short-handed, as both Julian Strawther and Nikola Jokic are still sidelined due to injuries. Without their MVP-caliber big man, Denver has struggled with consistency, and their latest outing was a disappointing loss to the Portland Trail Blazers. Meanwhile, the Rockets enter this game at full strength, something that hasn't been a given for them in recent years. This added depth and stability have made them one of the most dangerous teams in the league as of late. Their ability to roll out a fully healthy roster has been a key factor in their recent winning streak, making them a tough opponent for any team, let alone a Nuggets squad missing its most valuable player. It's tough to put too much faith in the Nuggets without Jokic, as their roster already lacks depth even when fully healthy. Denver has dropped 3 of its last 4 games and has only managed to cover the spread in 2 of its previous 10 contests. Houston, on the other hand, is playing some of its best basketball of the season and already proved earlier in the year that they can handle the Nuggets, winning that January matchup by 20 points. This game carries significant weight, as a win would give the Rockets more breathing room in their pursuit of the Western Conference's 2nd seed. Houston has also fared well against Denver in recent betting trends, posting a 5-0-1 record against the spread in their last 6 meetings. That said, the Rockets are still a young team, and there have been moments when their inexperience has shown, leading to occasional struggles in high-pressure situations. While the Nuggets are certainly capable of pulling off an upset on the road, the odds are stacked against them, especially without their superstar center. The Rockets are deserved favorites in this one, playing at home with momentum fully on their side. Given their current form and Denver's injury woes, I expect Houston to take care of business and secure the win. As our first pick for this matchup, the Houston Rockets to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Looking at the pace of play, Denver has been one of the faster teams in the league this season, ranking 5th in pace. This should push Houston, which currently sits at 19th in pace, into a more up-tempo game than they might typically prefer. Both teams have also seen 4 of their last 5 games go over the total, indicating that a high-scoring affair is a strong possibility. One major factor in Houston's favor is their dominance on the offensive glass, an area where Denver will likely struggle without Jokic. The Rockets should be able to create second-chance opportunities and capitalize on easy points in the paint. If Jokic is indeed unavailable, turnovers will become a major concern for Denver, allowing Houston to generate fast break opportunities and pile on transition points throughout the game. Despite their struggles without Jokic, the Nuggets still boast the 4th best offensive rating in the league and are more than capable of putting up points. In their January meeting against Houston, even without their star big man, Denver managed to shoot an impressive 53.3% from the field, including 48.3% from beyond the arc, while also earning 21 trips to the free throw line. That level of efficiency suggests they won't be completely outmatched offensively on Sunday, even if Houston has the upper hand. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Oklahoma City Thunder versus Los Angeles Clippers. The 2024-2025 NBA season continues on Sunday, March 23rd with an exciting showdown between the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Los Angeles Clippers. This highly anticipated Western Conference matchup will take place at Intuit Dome in Los Angeles, California, and promises to be a thrilling contest. This game marks the final meeting between these two teams in their 4-game regular season series. The Thunder have a chance to make history by sweeping the Clippers for the first time since the 2017-2018 season. So far, Oklahoma City has completely dominated this matchup, securing victories in all 3 previous encounters this season. They won the first 2 meetings in November with scores of 105-92 and 134-128. followed by another convincing 116-98 win in January. Oklahoma City heads into this game with a few key players still sidelined, as Luguentz Dort, Ousmane Dieng, and Jalen Williams remain out. Meanwhile, the Clippers are at full strength, which gives them a significant boost in this crucial matchup. Despite dealing with some injuries throughout the season, the Thunder have barely slowed down and are riding an impressive wave of success, winning 12 of their last 13 games. On the other hand, the Clippers have also been finding their rhythm, playing some of their best basketball lately. They are coming off a dominant performance against the Memphis Grizzlies and will be feeling confident heading into this clash. The Thunder have not only been winning games but also consistently covering the spread, making them a tough team to bet against. They currently boast the best record in the NBA and are highly motivated to maintain their momentum as they aim to lock down the top overall seed in the league. Oklahoma City has won all 3 meetings against the Clippers this season and holds an 8-2 record in their last 10 matchups against them. However, Los Angeles has been quietly turning things around. Over the past couple of weeks, the Clippers have looked increasingly dangerous, winning 8 of their last 9 games, including an impressive victory over the Cleveland Cavaliers. With a strong 25-10 record at home, the Clippers will come into this game with confidence, knowing they have a solid chance to come away with a win. The Thunder may be a tempting pick given their recent dominance over the Clippers, but Los Angeles has found its groove at the right time. Given their recent form, I expect them to make a strong statement on their home court. As our first pick for this matchup, the Los Angeles Clippers to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Offensively, Oklahoma City has been firing on all cylinders, as they demonstrated in their most recent game by putting up a massive 141 points. Over their last 3 outings, they have been averaging an incredible 132 points per game. While the Clippers may not be as prolific on the scoreboard, ranking just 21st in the league in scoring, they have recently shown signs of improvement. In each of their last 2 games, they have managed to put up at least 128 points. With James Harden and Kawhi Leonard both in excellent form, Los Angeles should be able to keep up with Oklahoma City's offensive pace and push this game toward a high-scoring total. Although the under has hit in 2 of the 3 meetings between these teams this season, both squads rank in the top 4 in the league in opponent points per game, making this a tricky call. However, given the way both offenses have been rolling lately, I anticipate a high-scoring contest this time around. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed, subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.